The ambulance sirens still echo in Sofia Moretti's ears as she stands in the center of Dante Russo's private dining room, her chef's whites splattered with what looks like evidence of a crime she didn't commit. Around her, men in dark suits form a semicircle of judgment, their hands resting too casually near concealed weapons. The marble floors she'd mopped just this morning now feel like the floor of a courtroom, and she's already been found guilty. "You poisoned my daughter!" Dante Russo's voice is quiet, controlled, but underneath it runs a current of violence that makes Sofia's blood turn to ice. He stands near the window, backlit by the Chicago skyline, his broad shoulders rigid with barely contained fury. He doesn't look at her. He's been staring out at the city for the past 5 minutes, and somehow that's worse than if he were screaming. "Mr. Russo, I would never—" Sofia's voice cracks. "Please, I didn't know about the peanuts. The almond flour looked exactly— My daughter is 7 years old." Now he turns, and Sofia's breath catches. Dante Russo is devastatingly handsome even in fury. Sharp jaw clenched tight, dark eyes burning with an intensity that could ignite stone, his black suit perfectly tailored to a body that radiates power. A thin scar cuts through his left eyebrow, a reminder that he survived things that would destroy lesser men. "She's 7 years old, and she's currently in the hospital fighting for her life because you were careless." "It wasn't carelessness." The sharp female voice comes from the doorway, and Sofia's stomach drops. Vanessa Sterling sweeps into the room like she owns it, and in many ways, she does. Dante's fiancée, heir to the Sterling Hotel empire, a woman who treats staff like decorative furniture. Her honey blonde hair is perfect despite the late hour. Her cream dress probably costs more than Sofia makes in 6 months, and her smile is poison wrapped in Chanel perfume. "It was deliberate," Vanessa continues, moving to stand beside Dante, her hand possessive on his arm. "I've been warning you about her for weeks, darling. She's been acting strange, resentful. I think she's been planning this." If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. Sofia's hands tremble as she clasps them together. "That's not true. Mrs. Sterling, I've done nothing but my job." "Your job?" Vanessa's laugh is like breaking glass. "Your job was to keep detailed records of Isabella's allergies? Your job was to double-check every ingredient. Your job was to not serve my future stepdaughter something that could kill her." She turns to Dante, and Sofia can see the calculated performance in every gesture. "I told you hiring someone so young, so inexperienced was a mistake. But you insisted she came highly recommended." "She did." Dante's voice is granite. His eyes finally meet Sofia's, and she sees something there that terrifies her more than his anger: disappointment. "Chef Romano vouched for you personally, said you were the most talented young chef he'd trained in 20 years, said you were meticulous, careful, professional." "I am," Sofia whispers. "Mr. Russo, please. I checked the label 3 times. It said almond flour. I have the package in the kitchen. You can see—" "The package?" Vanessa's eyebrow arches. "You mean the package you could have easily relabeled after the fact? The one that conveniently supports your story?" "I didn't relabel anything." Sofia's voice rises with desperation. "Why would I hurt Isabella? She's a sweet little girl. She talks to me while I cook. She tells me about her drawings, her friends at school. She's—" Her voice breaks. "She's the best part of my day." The admission hangs in the air. It's too much, too personal, crossing a line that staff aren't supposed to cross. But it's true. In the 3 months Sofia has worked as the Russo family's private chef, 7-year-old Isabella has become her shadow in the kitchen, perching on a stool to watch Sofia work, asking endless questions about ingredients and techniques. Dante's expression shifts. Something unreadable flickers across his features. But Vanessa notices too, and her eyes narrow dangerously. "How touching," Vanessa says, her voice dripping with false sympathy. "The help has bonded with the child. That makes this betrayal even more disturbing, doesn't it? To gain a little girl's trust, only to hurt her." "I didn't hurt her." Sofia's composure finally cracks. "I would never hurt her. There has to be an explanation. Please, just check the security cameras. They'll show—" "The kitchen cameras have been malfunctioning for the past week," Vanessa interrupts smoothly. "I reported it to security myself. Such unfortunate timing." Sofia's heart stops. "What?" "Technical difficulties." Vanessa's smile doesn't reach her eyes. "The footage from the kitchen is corrupted, unusable, which means we only have your word against the evidence. a child in the hospital, and a chef who either made a fatal mistake or did something far worse. Mr. Russo. Marco, the head of security, steps forward. He's built like a tank, with cold eyes that have seen too much. We found something else. He produces a small bottle from his jacket pocket. The label reads, refined peanut oil. This was in her locker, hidden under her personal belongings. The room tilts. Sofia stares at the bottle like it's a snake. That's not mine. I've never seen that before in my life. It has your fingerprints on it. Marco's voice is flat, emotionless. We tested it. Your prints are the only ones on the bottle. That's impossible! Sofia's breathing comes fast now, panic clawing at her throat. Someone must have planted it! Someone must have— Enough! Dante's single word cuts through her protests like a blade. He finally looks directly at her, and Sofia sees no mercy in his eyes. My daughter is in the ICU. The doctors say if we'd gotten her to the hospital 5 minutes later, she would have died. Died, Sofia. Because of something you made. I didn't know. Whether it was malice or incompetence, doesn't matter. His voice drops to something deadly quiet. The result is the same. My daughter almost died tonight. And you're responsible. Sofia feels tears burning behind her eyes, but she refuses to let them fall. She's 26 years old, spent the last 8 years clawing her way up from nothing, working in restaurant kitchens where men twice her age tried to break her spirit. She survived cooking school while working 3 jobs. She survived Chef Romano's brutal training, his impossible standards, his constant tests. She will not break now. You're wrong about me, she says, lifting her chin despite the fear coursing through her. I don't know how this happened, but I didn't poison Isabella. And somewhere, there's proof. The only proof I need is my daughter in a hospital bed. Dante nods to Marco. She's fired. Escort her off the property. And Sofia. He pauses, and for just a moment, something that might be regret flashes across his face. If Isabella doesn't make it, you won't just lose your job. You'll lose everything. I'll make sure of it. The threat isn't empty. Dante Russo doesn't make empty threats. He's the most powerful man in Chicago's underground, a king who rules through strategic brilliance and, when necessary, calculated violence. He's eliminated rivals, absorbed territories, and built an empire that stretches from the lakeshore to the suburbs. And now Sofia has made an enemy of him. Marco grips her arm, firm but not cruel, and begins steering her toward the door. Sofia doesn't resist. What would be the point? She's one person against an army, a chef against a king. But as they pass Vanessa, Sofia catches something in the other woman's expression. Triumph. Quickly masked. And in that split second, Sofia understands. This was planned. All of it. The realization hits like a physical blow, but there's no time to process it. Marco is already guiding her through the mansion's pristine hallways, past priceless artwork and marble columns, toward the service entrance where she'd arrived 3 months ago full of hope and ambition. Her locker has already been cleared. Her knives, the Japanese chef's knives she'd saved for 2 years to buy, are missing. My knives, she says to Marco. Where are my knives? Evidence, he says, without emotion. You'll get them back if you're cleared. If. Not when. If. Sofia takes her jacket, her worn backpack with her culinary school textbooks still inside, and walks out into the October night. The Chicago wind off Lake Michigan cuts through her thin chef's coat, but she doesn't feel it. She's numb, shock insulating her against both cold and reality. Her phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. You should have stayed invisible. Now you'll pay for forgetting your place. V. Vanessa. It had to be Vanessa. Sofia stands on the curb, watching the Russo mansion glow like a jewel behind its iron gates, and tries to understand how her life fell apart in less than 3 hours. 3 hours ago, she'd been in the kitchen, preparing Isabella's favorite meal. The little girl had requested homemade pasta with almond parmesan cream sauce, a recipe Sofia had perfected over weeks, modified to accommodate all of Isabella's allergies. No dairy, no tree nuts, no peanuts, no shellfish. Sofia had the list memorized, checked it compulsively, treated it like gospel. She'd opened a new bag of almond flour, checked the label 3 times like always. Certified gluten-free almond flour, processed in a facility free from peanuts, tree nuts, dairy, soy. She'd made the pasta by hand, rolling it through the machine Isabella loved to watch. She'd prepared the sauce, careful to use only ingredients from Isabella's approved list. She'd plated it beautifully, a small portion for a small girl, garnished with fresh basil and a drizzle of olive oil. Isabella had taken 3 bites before her throat started closing. Sofia had watched in horror as the little girl's face turned red, then purple. Watched as Isabella clawed at her throat, unable to breathe. Watched as Dante burst into the dining room, scooped up his daughter, and called for the EpiPen while shooting Sofia a look of pure betrayal. The ambulance had arrived within minutes. Vanessa had arrived seconds after, appearing from nowhere despite supposedly being at a charity gala across town. And within an hour, Sofia had gone from valued employee to accused poisoner. Her phone buzzes again. This time it's her landlord. Rent is overdue. Pay by Friday or you're out. Friday. 3 days away. The day she would have received her paycheck, her now gone paycheck. Sofia walks to the bus stop, each step feeling like she's moving through quicksand. The midnight bus to Pilsen is empty except for her and a sleeping homeless man. She stares at her reflection in the window and barely recognizes herself. She'd been so proud when Chef Romano recommended her for this position. "The Russo family is private," he'd told her. "They value discretion, perfection, and loyalty. If you can handle working for Dante Russo, you can handle anything. He's exacting, demanding, but fair. And Sofia," Romano had gripped her shoulder, "this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Don't waste it." She hadn't wasted it. She'd given everything. Arrived early, stayed late, perfected every dish, exceeded every expectation. She'd learned Isabella's preferences, Dante's schedule, even Vanessa's complicated dietary demands. She'd made herself indispensable. And still, it hadn't been enough. The bus drops her off 6 blocks from her apartment. The neighborhood is rough. Graffiti-covered walls, broken streetlights, the distant sound of sirens. But it's home. Or as close to home as Sofia has known since her mother died 4 years ago. She climbs 3 flights of stairs to her studio apartment. The space is tiny. Barely room for a bed, a hot plate, and a bookshelf crammed with cookbooks. But it's hers. Or it was until her landlord's text. Sofia sits on her bed, still in her chef's whites, and finally lets the tears come. She cries for Isabella, hoping the little girl is okay. She cries for her lost job, her lost reputation, her lost future. She cries for her mother, who'd worked 3 jobs to put Sofia through culinary school and never got to see her daughter succeed. But underneath the tears, something else builds. Not despair. Anger. Vanessa Sterling did this. Sofia doesn't know how yet, doesn't have proof, but she knows it with bone-deep certainty. The malfunctioning cameras, the oil in her locker, the too convenient timing of Vanessa's arrival, the triumphant look in those cold blue eyes. Vanessa had orchestrated everything. But why? Sofia's phone buzzes a 3rd time. Another unknown number, but this message makes her heart stop. The kitchen cameras aren't broken. I know because I'm watching you on them right now. Well, watching the recording from tonight. You were set up, Ms. Moretti. The question is, do you want to prove it, or do you want to disappear quietly? Dr. Dante. Dante Russo is watching the kitchen footage. Sofia's hands shake as she types back, "I want to prove it. Whatever it takes." The response is immediate. "Be at Cafe Umbria on Taylor Street tomorrow at 9 a.m. Come alone. Tell no one. And Sofia, if this is a game, if you're guilty and trying to manipulate me, you won't survive what comes next." Sofia stares at the message until her vision blurs. This could be a trap. Dante could be luring her somewhere isolated to exact revenge. In his world, people who cross him tend to disappear. But it's also the only chance she has to clear her name. She types, "I'll be there." Then she lies back on her bed, still fully clothed, and stares at the water-stained ceiling. Tomorrow, she'll either prove her innocence or discover that even the truth isn't enough to save someone like her from someone like Dante Russo. Outside, Chicago's night sounds filter through her thin walls. Car horns, distant music, the elevated train rattling past. Normal sounds of a city that doesn't care about one chef's destroyed life. But Sofia isn't thinking about defeat. She's thinking about those 3 hours in the kitchen tonight, mentally retracing every step, every ingredient, every moment. Somewhere in those hours is the truth. Somewhere in that kitchen is evidence that will prove Vanessa set her up. And tomorrow, she'll convince Dante Russo to help her find it. Or die trying. The night stretches long and sleepless. Sofia finally gets up at 5 a.m., can't lie still anymore. She showers, changes into jeans and a simple black sweater, not her chef's whites, those feel tainted now, and makes herself instant coffee with shaking hands. At 8:30, she leaves her apartment, takes the bus to Taylor Street. Cafe Umbria is a small Italian coffee shop in Little Italy, the kind of place where old men play cards and everyone knows everyone. Neutral territory, public enough to be safe, private enough for difficult conversations. Sofia arrives 15 minutes early. She orders an espresso she can't afford and sits at a corner table, back to the wall, watching the door. An old habit from growing up in rough neighborhoods. Always know your exits. At exactly 9 a.m., Dante Russo walks in. He's different in daylight, somehow more real and more dangerous at the same time. He wears dark jeans and a black leather jacket, no tie. His hair slightly mussed like he's been running his hands through it. He hasn't shaved, and the stubble makes him look less polished, more human. Less like a mafia boss. More like a father who spent the night in a hospital chair. Their eyes meet across the cafe, and Sofia sees exhaustion in his face. Dark circles under his eyes, tension in every line of his body. But she also sees something else. Uncertainty. Like he's questioning everything he thought he knew. Dante orders a double espresso, then crosses to her table and sits down without asking permission. For a long moment, neither of them speaks. Then Dante says, "Isabella is going to be okay." Sofia's eyes close in relief. "Thank God." "She was asking for you this morning." His voice is strange, rough. "Wanted to know where Miss Sofia was, why you hadn't come to visit her in the hospital." Tears prick Sofia's eyes again. "I wanted to, but I thought, I know what you thought." Dante leans forward, his elbows on the table, his gaze intense. "You thought I'd have you arrested if you came near her. You were right. I would have." He pauses. "Until I watched the footage." Sofia's heart hammers. "The cameras weren't broken? The kitchen cameras were broken. Corrupted, just like Vanessa said." A muscle jumps in his jaw. "But what she didn't know is that I have a secondary system. Hidden cameras that only I and my head tech guy know about. I don't trust easily, Ms. Moretti. In my business, paranoia keeps you alive." He pulls out his phone, sets it on the table between them, and presses play. Sofia watches herself on the screen. She sees herself in the kitchen at 4 p.m., beginning prep work. Sees herself check Isabella's allergy list. Sees herself pull out ingredients from the pantry. Sees herself open a bag of almond flour, rid the label carefully, set it aside. Then the timestamp jumps to 6 p.m. and Sofia is gone. The kitchen is empty. For 2 minutes, nothing happens. Then Vanessa Sterling enters the frame. Sofia's breath catches. On screen, Vanessa looks around carefully, then moves to the pantry. She pulls out a different bag, same brand, same type of flour, but when she holds it up to the light, something is different about the label. Vanessa takes the almond flour Sofia had been using and hides it in her designer purse. Then she takes the new bag and places it exactly where Sofia's bag had been. The video continues. Vanessa exits. 5 minutes later, Sofia returns, finishes prep work, and uses the switched flour, the contaminated flour, to make Isabella's pasta sauce. Sofia watches herself poison a child she cares about, completely unaware that she's being set up. The video stops. Silence fills the space between them. "I'm sorry," Dante says finally, and the words sound like they're being torn from him. "I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I'm sorry I let Vanessa manipulate the situation. I'm sorry I didn't check my secondary cameras immediately. I'm sorry that my inability to see what was happening under my own roof almost cost you everything." Sofia can't speak. Her throat is too tight. "Vanessa has been with me for 2 years," Dante continues. "Our families arranged the engagement. It was supposed to be strategic, beneficial to both our organizations. I didn't love her, but I thought..." He stops, runs a hand through his hair. "I thought she was harmless. Vain, spoiled, sometimes cruel to staff. But harmless. I was wrong." "Why?" Sofia's voice is barely a whisper. "Why did she do this?" Dante's dark eyes meet hers, and she sees something in them that makes her breath catch. "Because she saw the way I looked at you." The confession hangs in the air between them like a live wire, dangerous and electric. Sofia stares at Dante Russo, this powerful man who could crush her with a word, and tries to process what he just said.
The way you looked at me? Don't.
Dante's voice is rough.
Don't pretend you didn't feel it too. Every time I walked into that kitchen and you were there. Every time Isabella talked about you at dinner. Every time I found excuses to be near you when I should have been working.
He leans back, his jaw tight.
I told myself it was nothing. That you were just staff. That I was engaged. That my life was too complicated for this kind of distraction. But Vanessa knew. She saw what I was trying to ignore.
Sofia's hands tremble around her espresso cup.
Mr. Russo. Dante.
His eyes lock onto hers.
When we're alone, call me Dante. You've earned that right after what I put you through. Dante,
Sofia corrects, testing his name on her tongue. It feels dangerous, intimate.
I'm just a chef. I cook food. I'm not.
She struggles for words.
I'm not in your world. I'm nobody. You're not nobody to Isabella.
Dante's voice softens.
In 3 months, you became her favorite person in the house. She draws pictures of you in the kitchen. She practices Italian phrases to surprise you. She asked me last week if Miss Sofia could teach her how to make pasta, because she wants to be a chef when she grows up, just like you.
Tears blur Sofia's vision.
She said that? She said that.
Dante pulls out his phone again, swipes through photos, then turns the screen toward her. It's a child's drawing. Stick figures in a kitchen, one tall with dark curly hair labeled Miss Sofia, one small labeled me, both wearing chef's hats. Hearts are drawn around them. Sofia's composure finally breaks. A sob escapes before she can stop it.
I thought I'd killed her,
she whispers.
When she couldn't breathe, when her face turned purple, I thought...
Her voice cracks.
I've never been so terrified in my life. And then to be accused, to have everyone think I'd hurt her deliberately... I know.
Dante reaches across the table and his hand covers hers. The touch is warm, solid, grounding.
And I'm going to make this right. But Sofia, I need you to understand something. Vanessa Sterling is dangerous. She comes from one of the most powerful families in Chicago. Her father controls half the luxury hotels in the Midwest. Her connections run deep. Politicians, judges, police chiefs. She has resources I can't match in certain arenas.
Sofia looks up at him.
What are you saying? I'm saying that when I confront her with this footage, when I break our engagement and expose what she did, she's going to retaliate. And her retaliation won't just target me, it'll target you. You're the evidence. You're the witness. You're the reason her plan failed.
Dante's grip tightens on her hand.
I can protect you, but only if you let me. Only if you trust me. How?
Sofia's voice is small.
How can you protect me from someone like that? By bringing you back into my house, under my direct protection. By making it clear that anyone who touches you answers to me.
His dark eyes burn with intensity.
By keeping you close enough that no one can get to you without going through me first.
Sofia's heart races.
You're asking me to come back? After everything? I'm asking you to let me fix what I broke.
Dante's thumb traces small circles on the back of her hand, and Sofia wonders if he even realizes he's doing it.
I'm asking you to give me a chance to protect you the way I should have from the beginning. And yes,
his voice drops lower.
I'm asking you to come back because Isabella needs you. Because she woke up this morning asking for you. Because the first thing she said to me was, "Is Miss Sofia mad at me? Did I do something wrong?"
The words shatter something in Sofia's chest.
She thinks it's her fault? She's 7. She doesn't understand that someone tried to hurt her deliberately. She just knows that she got sick eating food you made and now you're gone.
Dante's expression is raw.
I can't explain to her what Vanessa did. I can't tell her that my fiancé tried to frame you for attempted murder. She's too young for that darkness. But I can bring you back. I can show her that you're okay, that you still care about her, that none of this was your fault. If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one.
Sofia pulls her hand away, needing space to think clearly.
If I come back, Vanessa will.
No, you discovered the truth. She'll escalate.
Let her.
Dante's voice turns cold, dangerous.
Let her try. I've been too passive, too willing to maintain peace for the sake of family alliances, But she crossed a line when she went after Isabella, when she used my daughter as a weapon to hurt you. That's unforgivable. What about your engagement? Over. I'm ending it today.
He says it with finality.
I should have ended it months ago, if I'm honest. We were never right for each other. I stayed in it because it was convenient. Because my father arranged it before he died. Because breaking it off would cause complications with the Sterling family. But none of that matters anymore.
Sofia studies his face, searching for deception or manipulation. She finds only exhaustion, guilt, and something else. Something fierce and protective that makes her pulse quicken. I need to think about this, she says finally. This isn't just about a job. You're asking me to put myself in the middle of a war between two powerful families. You're asking me to trust that you can protect me when you couldn't protect me before. You're asking... She stops, meets his eyes. You're asking me to risk everything on a man I barely know.
You're right.
Dante stands, pulls a card from his wallet, and sets it on the table. It has only a phone number, nothing else.
Think about it. Take the day. But Sofia...
He pauses. Isabella is coming home from the hospital tomorrow morning. If you decide to come back, she'd love to see you. If you decide not to, I'll understand. I'll make sure you're compensated for your lost wages, get you references for other positions, help you however I can. But please, at least let me pay you what you're owed. He pulls out an envelope, thick with cash.
This is 6 months' salary. Consider it severance, apology money, whatever helps you accept it. You shouldn't suffer financially because of my mistakes.
Sofia stares at the envelope, at the money that would solve her immediate problems, rent, food, time to find another position. Pride wars with practicality. Practicality wins. She takes the envelope. Thank you. Dante nods, starts to leave, then turns back.
For what it's worth, you're the best chef I've ever had. Isabella isn't the only one who's going to miss your cooking.
Then he's gone, leaving Sofia alone with her cold espresso, a thick envelope of money, and a decision that will change everything. Sofia spends the rest of the day walking through Chicago, thinking. She walks along the lakeshore, watching sailboats cut through gray water. She walks through Millennium Park, past the bean where tourists take selfies, oblivious to the fact that just blocks away, powerful families wage silent wars. She walks through neighborhoods where she grew up, where her mother cleaned houses to keep them fed, where Sofia learned early that people like them were invisible to people like the Russos and Sterlings. Her phone rings repeatedly.
Unknown.
Numbers. She doesn't answer. By evening, she finds herself at her mother's grave in Mount Carmel Cemetery. The headstone is simple. Maria Moretti, beloved mother, 1962 to 2020. Sofia sits on the ground beside it, not caring about the dirt on her jeans. I don't know what to do, Mama, she whispers. You always said to stay invisible, to not draw attention, to do the work and go home. You said getting involved with people like them only brings pain. She traces her mother's name carved in stone. But I can't stop thinking about Isabella, about how scared she must have been, about how she's asking for me, about how I might be the only person in that mansion who sees her as a child instead of a pawn. The wind rustles through nearby trees, carrying the scent of autumn leaves and approaching winter. And Dante? Sofia stops, surprised by how easily his name comes now. He looked at me like I mattered, like I was more than just staff, more than invisible. You always wanted that for me, didn't you? To be seen, to be valued, to matter to someone. Her mother's grave, of course, offers no answers. But sitting there, Sofia remembers something her mother said during her final days in hospice.
I lived small because I was afraid, mija. I don't want that for you. When your moment comes, when you have a chance at something bigger, something real, don't let fear make you invisible. Be brave. Be seen. Sofia pulls out her phone, looks at Dante's number on the card, and makes her decision. She types, I'll come back, but I have conditions. His response is immediate. Name them. 1. I want my knives back. 2. I want a contract, in writing, with my duties clearly defined. 3. I want Isabella to understand that I didn't mean to hurt her. 4. I want a separate entrance and private quarters. I'm not living in staff housing where Vanessa had access to my locker. 5. If this goes bad, if Vanessa comes after me, you guarantee my safety. Not just bodyguards, a real plan to get me out if necessary.
She waits, heart pounding, half expecting him to refuse. The conditions are bold, demanding, not what someone in her position should ask for. But Dante Russo doesn't respond the way she expects. Agreed to all. I'll have Torres, my new head of security, pick you up in an hour. Pack everything. You're moving into the guest house tonight. And Sofia, your knives are already polished and waiting in your new kitchen. I never should have taken them in the first place. Sofia reads the message 3 times, looking for the catch, the manipulation, the trap. She finds only sincerity, or what feels like it. Okay, Mama, she whispers to the headstone. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be seen. I hope you're proud. An hour later, a sleek black SUV pulls up outside her apartment building. A woman in her 30s with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense demeanor steps out. Ms. Moretti, I'm Torres, head of security. She extends a hand. Mr. Russo sent me to collect you. I understand you have conditions about your safety. I want you to know I take that seriously. My job is to protect Mr. Russo's household, and as of tonight, you're part of that household. Sofia shakes her hand, appreciating the direct approach. Thank you. I also want to apologize. Torres continues as she helps Sofia load her meager belongings into the SUV. I reviewed Marco's security protocols after he was fired. He was sloppy, compromised. He let Ms. Sterling have access she never should have had. That won't happen again. I've already changed all security codes, installed new cameras, and vetted every staff member. If anyone poses a threat to you, they won't get past me. The drive to the Russo estate passes in silence. Sofia watches the city transform from her rough neighborhood to Lincoln Park's pristine streets, from liquor stores and check-cashing places to boutiques and coffee shops where lattes cost more than she used to spend on dinner. The gates open for them automatically. But instead of going to the main house, Torres drives around to a smaller building Sofia had never really noticed before, a 2-story guest house with its own entrance, surrounded by gardens. Mr. Russo had this prepared for you? Torres explains as she helps Sofia carry her bags inside. Private kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, living area. The main house kitchen has been fully restocked with new ingredients. Everything Isabella is allergic to has been removed or clearly labeled. Your knives are there, as promised, and this... She hands Sofia a sleek smartphone. Secure line. My number is programmed in, along with Mr. Russo's private number and emergency services. If you feel unsafe at any time, you call me first. I'm armed, trained, and 2 minutes away at all times. Sofia takes the phone, overwhelmed. This is too much. This is the minimum after what you went through. Torres's expression softens slightly. I have daughters, Ms. Moretti. If someone had framed one of them the way you were framed, I want someone to take their safety seriously. Mr. Russo may be a lot of things, but he takes care of his people, and you're his people now. After Torres leaves, Sofia explores her new space. It's beautiful. Hardwood floors, large windows overlooking the gardens, furniture that actually matches, a kitchen with professional-grade equipment. In the bedroom, she finds her chef's whites, freshly laundered and pressed, hanging in the closet. And beside them, 3 new sets in her size, higher quality than she's ever owned. On the nightstand, there's a note in strong, masculine handwriting. Sofia, welcome home. Isabella is excited to see you tomorrow. She doesn't know what happened. As far as she knows, you had a family emergency and had to leave briefly. Let's keep it that way. She's been through enough. D. Below that, in a child's careful printing. Dear Miss Sofia, I miss you. Papa says you're coming back tomorrow. I'm making you a welcome back card. I hope you're not sad anymore. Love, Isabella. P.S. Can we make ravioli? It's my favorite. Sofia sits on the edge of the bed, reading Isabella's message over and over, and feels something crack open in her chest. This little girl, this sweet, innocent child, has no idea that she was used as a weapon, that her life was endangered to destroy someone else. But Sofia knows. And now, so does Dante. She changes into pajamas, climbs into bed that's softer than anything she's ever slept on, and tries to rest. But sleep doesn't come easily. Her mind spins with possibilities and dangers, with the memory of Dante's hand on hers, with the weight of the decision she's made. Tomorrow, she'll face Vanessa Sterling. Tomorrow, she'll step back into a kitchen where she almost killed a child. Tomorrow, she'll have to look Dante Russo in the eyes and pretend that her heart doesn't race every time he's near, that she doesn't feel this impossible pull toward a man who's supposed to be untouchable. Tomorrow, everything changes. But tonight, for the first time in days, Sofia feels safe. Morning comes too quickly. Sofia wakes to soft knocking on her door. She checks the time, 6 a.m., and pulls on a robe before answering. Dante stands on her doorstep, still in running clothes, clearly having just finished his morning workout. His dark hair is damp with sweat, his t-shirt clinging to a body that reminds Sofia that he's not just a boss or a father, he's a man in his prime, powerful and vital.
"I'm sorry for the early hour,"
he says, and his voice is rough, like he's been awake all night.
"I wanted to catch you before Isabella wakes up. We need to talk about today."
Sofia steps aside, lets him in. It feels strange, intimate, having him in her private space. The guest house suddenly seems smaller with him in it.
"Coffee?"
she offers, defaulting to hospitality. "Please." They move to the kitchen. Sofia makes espresso while Dante leans against the counter, watching her with an intensity that makes her hands slightly unsteady.
"Vanessa doesn't know you're back yet,"
he says finally.
"I'm telling her this morning, before Isabella comes home. I wanted to give you advance warning because she's going to show up here. She's going to make a scene. She's going to try to intimidate you or manipulate me or both. I need you to be prepared."
Sofia sets his espresso in front of him.
"I can handle her. I know you can, but I want you to know you don't have to. I'll handle her. I'll end this engagement. I'll make it clear that you're under my protection."
He pauses.
"But there's something else you need to know. Something about why Vanessa targeted you specifically."
"Because she saw how you looked at me," Sofia says quietly.
"You told me yesterday? That's part of it, but there's more."
Dante runs a hand through his damp hair.
3 weeks ago, at a dinner party, one of my business associates commented on how well Isabella was doing, how happy she seemed.
He said she'd been talking nonstop about her chef, about how Miss Sofia was teaching her Italian, how they laughed together in the kitchen. He said, Dante's jaw tightens.
"He said it was obvious Isabella had a mother figure in you that she didn't have in Vanessa."
Sofia's breath catches. "I never meant to overstep. I was just..."
"You were just being yourself. Kind, attentive, present. Everything Isabella needed and wasn't getting from Vanessa."
Dante sets down his espresso cup.
"Vanessa was at that dinner. She heard the comment. And I saw her face. Pure rage. The next day she started asking questions about you. Where you came from, who your family was, why I'd hired someone so young and unproven. I thought she was just being petty. I didn't realize she was planning something."
"When did the cameras malfunction?" Sofia asks, putting the pieces together.
"A week after that dinner. Vanessa reported it to Marco, who I've since learned was on her payroll. He confirmed the malfunction without actually checking the secondary system."
Dante's expression darkens.
"She played me, Sofia. She used my trust, my distraction with business, my assumption that she was harmless. And she almost succeeded. But she didn't."
Sofia moves closer, sees the guilt eating at him.
"Dante, you figured it out. You checked the footage. You believed me. That's what matters. I should have believed you from the start. The moment you said you didn't do it, I should have..."
He stops, his hand reaching out to touch her face, then dropping before making contact.
"I should have known you were incapable of hurting Isabella."
The almost touch lingers in the air between them, charged and wanting.
"We should focus on today,"
Sofia says, stepping back before she does something foolish like close the distance between them.
"Isabella is coming home. That's what matters."
Dante nods, but his eyes hold hers for a long moment before he looks away.
"She'll be here by 10. I told her you'd make her favorite lunch, ravioli. She's been talking about it all morning. Then I'd better get to work."
Sofia manages a smile.
"I have a reputation to rebuild." "Sofia."
Dante catches her wrist gently as she moves past him.
"Thank you. For coming back. For giving Isabella. For giving us another chance."
"I'm here for Isabella," Sofia says firmly, even though they both know it's not entirely true.
"Of course."
Dante releases her wrist, but his fingers trail across her skin as he does, sending electricity racing up her arm.
"I'll see you at 10.
After he leaves, Sofia stands in her kitchen, her wrist still tingling from his touch, and wonders what she's gotten herself into. But there's no time to spiral. She has ravioli to make, a little girl to reassure, and a vindictive woman to face down. Sofia showers, dresses in her chef's whites, and makes her way to the main house kitchen. Everything is as Dante promised. Newly stocked, meticulously organized, her knives waiting in a custom magnetic strip, polished to perfection. She runs her fingers over them, these tools that are extensions of her hands, and feels herself settle. This is her domain. This is where she has power. In the kitchen, she's not invisible. She's a creator, an artist, a chef. She begins making pasta dough, the familiar rhythm calming her nerves. Flour, eggs, olive oil, a pinch of salt. Her hands move with practiced ease, kneading the dough until it's silky smooth. While it rests, she prepares the filling. Ricotta, spinach, parmesan, carefully checked against Isabella's allergy list 3 times. She's rolling out the pasta when she hears the commotion. Vanessa's voice, shrill and furious, echoes through the house. "You can't be serious! You're ending our engagement over a staff member? Over a chef?" Sofia's hands still on the pasta roller. Here it comes. "I'm ending our engagement because you tried to frame an innocent woman for attempted murder." Dante's voice is cold, controlled, deadly. "Because you poisoned my daughter to destroy someone who threatened you. Because you're vindictive, calculating, and dangerous. Take your pick. You have no proof. I have video footage of you switching the flour. I have the bag you hid with the contaminated product. I have your texts to my former head of security. I have everything I need, Vanessa. The only question is whether I go public with it or whether you leave quietly." Silence. Then, "If you expose me, my family will destroy you." "Let them try." Dante's voice drops to something terrifying. "I've been building my empire while being polite, playing nice, maintaining alliances. But you want to see what happens when I stop being polite? When I actually use the full extent of my power and connections? Because I promise you, Vanessa, you don't want that war." More silence. Sofia stands frozen in the kitchen, barely breathing. "She's not even worth it," Vanessa finally says, her voice dripping with contempt. "That little nobody from nowhere. You're throwing away our family's alliance for someone who'll never fit in your world, who'll never be good enough for you, who'll embarrass you at every turn. Get out." Dante's voice is quiet now, but somehow more menacing. "Get out of my house. Get out of my city if you're smart. And Vanessa, if you ever speak Sofia's name again, if you ever come near her or Isabella, I will end you. Not your reputation. Not your family's business. You. Do I make myself clear?" "Crystal." Vanessa's heels click against marble, moving toward the kitchen. Sofia quickly returns to rolling pasta, keeping her head down, her hands steady even though her heart is racing. Vanessa appears in the doorway. She's dressed impeccably as always, designer suit, perfect hair, flawless makeup. But her eyes are venomous. "Enjoy it while it lasts," she says softly, meant only for Sofia's ears. "You might have won this battle, but you'll never belong here. You'll never be more than staff playing dress-up." And when Dante realizes that, when the novelty wears off and he sees you for what you really are, he'll discard you, just like he discarded me. Sofia looks up, meets Vanessa's cold gaze, and surprises herself by smiling. "Maybe, but at least I'll know I earned my place here, that I didn't have to poison a child to feel important." Vanessa's face contorts with rage. For a moment, Sofia thinks she might attack. But then Dante appears in the doorway, and Vanessa's mask slides back into place. "I'll have my things collected," she says to Dante, her voice icy. "And my father will be contacting your lawyers." "I'm sure he will." Dante doesn't move, doesn't flinch. "Torres will escort you out." Vanessa leaves in a cloud of expensive perfume and barely contained fury. The moment she's gone, the tension in the house releases like a held breath. Dante comes into the kitchen, stops when he sees Sofia. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine." Sofia returns to her pasta. "She said what I expected her to say." "Which was?" "That I don't belong here. That I'm not good enough for your world. That I'm nothing." Sofia's hands move with practiced efficiency, cutting ravioli shapes. "Nothing I haven't heard before." Dante is quiet for a moment. Then he moves closer, close enough that Sofia can feel his warmth. "You know none of that is true, right? Does it matter?" Sofia arranges the ravioli on a floured tray. "She's not entirely wrong.
I am staff. I do come from nothing. I don't belong in your world, Dante. Not really. You belong wherever you choose to be.
His hand covers hers, stilling her movements.
Sofia, look at me.
She does, reluctantly.
You belong here because I asked you to be here. Because Isabella wants you here. Because you're talented and kind and brave and genuine. Qualities that are rare in my world.
Vanessa is right about one thing. You're not like the people I usually associate with. But that's exactly why you matter. You're real. You see me as a person, not a position. You see Isabella as a child, not a bargaining chip. That's worth more than all the alliances and connections in Chicago.
Sofia's throat tightens.
You barely know me. Then let me get to know you. Dante's thumb traces the back of her hand.
Not as your employer. Not as Isabella's father. Just as Dante and Sofia. Let me prove that Vanessa is wrong about you. About us. About everything.
Before Sofia can respond, before she can sort through the tangle of emotions his words create, they hear a child's excited voice.
Miss Sofia! Miss Sofia! Are you really back?
Isabella bursts into the kitchen, still in her hospital bracelet, her face lighting up when she sees Sofia. She runs straight to her, and Sofia catches her in a hug, lifting her up despite knowing she probably shouldn't lift anything that heavy while making pasta.
I'm back,
Sofia whispers into Isabella's hair.
I'm so sorry I left, sweet girl. I'm so sorry.
Papa said you had a family emergency. Isabella pulls back to look at Sofia's face.
Are you okay now? Is your family okay?
Sofia glances at Dante over Isabella's head. He nods slightly. Keep the story simple.
Everything's okay now,
Sofia says.
I'm just so happy to see you. I heard you had a scary time at the hospital.
It was really scary, Isabella admits.
My throat got all tight and I couldn't breathe.
But Papa saved me. He always saves me. She looks at her father with absolute trust, absolute love.
Right, Papa?
Always, Principessa. Dante's voice is soft, tender, showing a side of him Sofia is only beginning to see.
Now, how about you let Miss Sofia finish making your ravioli? She's been working very hard to make them perfect.
Can I help? Isabella asks eagerly. Sofia looks at Dante, who nods.
Of course you can help. You can be my official taste tester.
The rest of the morning passes in a blur of cooking, laughter, and slow healing. Isabella chatters nonstop, telling Sofia everything that happened at the hospital, showing off the teddy bear the nurses gave her, practicing the Italian phrases Sofia taught her. Dante stays nearby, working on his laptop at the kitchen island. But Sofia notices his eyes keep drifting to them. To his daughter covered in flour, laughing as she helps roll pasta. To Sofia, patient and gentle, teaching and encouraging. And Sofia realizes something that both thrills and terrifies her. This feels like a family, not employer and employee, not protection arrangement and grateful recipient. A family. But families in Dante Russo's world are complicated, dangerous things, and Sofia has no idea if she's strong enough to survive what comes next. 3 weeks pass in a strange new rhythm that Sofia never quite gets used to. She wakes early in the guest house, makes her way to the main kitchen, and prepares breakfast for Dante and Isabella. Simple things. Frittatas, fresh bread, fruit arranged like flowers on Isabella's plate, because it makes the little girl smile. Dante joins them most mornings now, a change from his previous routine of eating alone in his office while working. They've fallen into a pattern. Isabella talks about school, about her friends, about the book she's reading. Dante listens with genuine attention, asks questions, makes his daughter laugh. And Sofia watches them, this father and daughter finding their way back to each other after the trauma of the poisoning, and feels her heart crack open a little more each day. Because the truth is, Sofia is falling for both of them. She's falling for Isabella's infectious joy, her curiosity, the way she pronounces Italian words with exaggerated flourish. She's falling for the trust in those young eyes, the way Isabella reaches for her hand without hesitation, the sticky-fingered hugs that come with no warning, and all the love in the world. And she's falling for Dante, the man behind the reputation, the father beneath the Mafia boss, the person who emerges when the armor comes off. She sees him late at night when he thinks no one is watching, standing in Isabella's doorway just to make sure she's breathing, safe, alive. She sees him tensing every time a car approaches the estate, his hand automatically moving toward the weapon he always carries. She sees the exhaustion in his eyes from running an empire while being a single father, the weight of constantly choosing between business and family, power and love. And she sees the way he looks at her. It's in the lingering touches when he hands her ingredients she's asked for, in the way his eyes track her movements across the kitchen, in the soft, "Thank you," he whispers when she does something thoughtful for Isabella. In the conversations that stretch long after the little girl has gone to bed, sitting in the kitchen while Sofia preps for the next day, talking about everything and nothing, his childhood in Englewood, her mother's dreams for her, the strange loneliness of their very different lives. They haven't crossed any lines, haven't kissed, haven't even acknowledged the tension that builds every time they're alone. Because Isabella is between them, a precious, innocent reason to be careful, to be sure, to not rush into something that could shatter if mishandled. But the want is there, undeniable and growing stronger every day. It's Tuesday evening when everything begins to unravel. Sofia is making dinner, ossobuco, one of Dante's favorites, when Torres appears in the kitchen doorway. Her expression is grim.
"Miss Moretti, we need to talk. Where's Mr. Russo?"
In his office with Isabella. They're doing homework. Sofia wipes her hands on a towel, her stomach clenching.
"What's wrong?"
"Vanessa Sterling was found dead this morning." The towel drops from Sofia's hands.
"What?"
"Apparent suicide. Pills and alcohol. Her housekeeper found her." Torres moves closer, lowering her voice. "But the police are treating it as suspicious. They're looking into everyone who had recent conflicts with her, which means they're going to want to talk to Mr. Russo. And you." Sofia's legs suddenly feel unsteady. She grabs the counter for support. "Me? Why me?" "Because half of Chicago knows Vanessa accused you of poisoning Isabella, knows that Mr. Russo broke their engagement over it, knows there was bad blood between all three of you." Torres's expression is sympathetic but serious.
"I'm not saying you're a suspect. I'm saying you're going to be questioned, and we need to prepare for that."
The kitchen door swings open. Dante walks in, his phone already in his hand, his face carved from stone.
"You heard?"
"Torres just told me." Sofia's voice sounds distant to her own ears. "Dante, I didn't—"
"I know."
He cuts her off, moving to stand directly in front of her.
"Sofia, look at me.
I know you had nothing to do with this, but someone wants it to look like we did. This is too convenient, too perfectly timed. Vanessa dead less than a month after our confrontation? This is a setup. Who would—" Sofia stops, understanding dawning. Her family. Her father, specifically. Dominic Sterling. Dante's jaw clenches. "He blames me for his daughter's humiliation, for ending the engagement, for exposing what she did. He's powerful enough to make this look like murder, to point the police in our direction, to destroy both of us legally when he couldn't do it any other way." "What do we do?" Sofia asks. "We tell the truth. We cooperate fully. We show them the video footage of what Vanessa did, prove we had justification for everything." Dante's hand comes up to cup her face, his touch gentle despite the urgency. "But Sofia, I need you to be prepared. The next few weeks are going to be brutal. The media will find out. Your name will be everywhere. People will dig into your past, your family, everything. Dominic Sterling will use every resource to paint you as a gold digger who seduced me, turned me against his daughter, and drove her to suicide." Sofia's eyes close. "Maybe I should leave. If I'm not here, if we're not together—"
"Don't!"
Dante's voice is fierce. "Don't even think about running. That's exactly what he wants. To isolate me. To take away the people I care about. To make me vulnerable." His forehead touches hers.
"I need you here. Isabella needs you here. Whatever comes, we face it together, okay?"
Before Sofia can respond, Isabella's voice calls from the hallway. "Papa? Miss Sofia? Why does everyone look so serious?" They break apart. Dante schools his features into something gentler, and Sofia is reminded that he's a master at masks, at showing only what he wants people to see.
"Everything's fine, Principessa,"
Dante says as Isabella appears in the doorway.
"Just some grown-up business. How about you go wash up for dinner? Miss Sofia made your favorite."
Isabella looks between them, too perceptive for a 7-year-old. "Are you and Miss Sofia fighting?"
"No, baby."
Sofia kneels down to Isabella's level. "We're not fighting. We're just figuring some things out. But everything is okay. I promise." "You promise? Like pinky promise? Sofia holds out her pinky. Isabella hooks hers around it, and they shake solemnly. Pinky promise? Sofia confirms, hoping she's not lying to this child she's come to love. After Isabella leaves, Torres speaks again. The police will be here tomorrow morning. I've already contacted Mr. Russo's attorney. He'll be present for all questioning. But Ms. Moretti, you should have your own representation. Someone who's looking out specifically for your interests. I can't afford... Sofia starts. I'll cover it, Dante interrupts. Sofia, don't argue. This is my fault. If Vanessa's death is suspicious, if Dominic is behind this, it's because of me. I'm not letting you face this alone. Dante? Please. The word is rough, almost desperate. Please let me protect you. Let me do this right. Sofia nods, too overwhelmed to argue. That night, after Isabella is asleep and the dishes are done, Sofia finds herself unable to rest. She sits in the guest house living room, staring out at the dark gardens, trying to process everything. A soft knock at her door makes her jump. She opens it to find Dante, still dressed despite the late hour, exhaustion etched in every line of his face. Can I come in? He asks quietly. Sofia steps aside. They sit together on her couch, the space between them both too much and not enough. I can't sleep, Dante admits. Keep thinking about all the ways this could go wrong. All the ways I could lose. He stops, runs his hands through his hair. I'm sorry. You didn't sign up for this. You came back to cook for my daughter, and now you're caught in the middle of a war with one of Chicago's most powerful families. I came back for more than just cooking, Sofia says softly. I came back because I couldn't stay away. Because Isabella needed me. Because you... She stops, scared to finish the sentence. Because I what? Dante turns to face her, his dark eyes intense in the dim light. Because you made me feel seen, Sofia whispers. My whole life, I've been invisible. The poor kid, the scholarship student, the chef who works in the back while everyone else is out front. But you looked at me like I mattered. Like I was more than just function and utility. Like I was... Her voice breaks. Like I was worth protecting. Dante's hand finds hers in the darkness. Sofia, you're worth everything. You're brilliant and talented and kind and brave. You took a chance on coming back here knowing it was dangerous. You forgave me for not believing you. You love my daughter like she's your own. You made this house feel like a home again after years of it being just a cold museum. His grip tightens. You're not invisible to me. You're all I see. The confession hangs between them, charged with everything they've been holding back for weeks. Dante, Sofia breathes. We can't. I know. Isabella is between us. The investigation is starting. The timing is terrible. He leans closer anyway. But Sofia, I need you to know something before tomorrow, before the police and the lawyers and the media circus begins. I need you to know that this... He gestures between them. Whatever this is, it's real for me. It's not gratitude or convenience or some rebound from Vanessa. It's real. You're real. And whatever happens, that doesn't change. Sofia's eyes fill with tears. I'm scared. Me too. Dante's thumb brushes away a tear that escapes. I'm terrified. Because I've lost people before. My parents, my brother, people I thought I could protect. And the thought of losing you, of Dominic Sterling hurting you because of me. His voice roughens. It's unbearable. Then what do? We fight. Dante's voice turns to steel. We tell the truth. We trust that the evidence will speak for itself, and we don't let fear make our decisions. He pauses. But Sofia, if at any point you want out, if this becomes too much, you tell me. I'll get you somewhere safe, somewhere far from all of this. No judgment, no resentment. Your safety comes first, always. Sofia looks at this man who's offering her an escape, even though she can see how much it would cost him to let her go. This man who's trying so hard to be different from his father, to build something better, to protect without controlling. I'm not going anywhere, she says firmly. Whatever comes, we face it together. Right? Dante's smile is beautiful and heartbreaking. Together. He stands to leave, but Sofia catches his hand. Dante, stay. Just for tonight. I don't want to be alone. She can see him warring with himself, weighing propriety against need. Need wins. They lie together on her couch, fully clothed, his arms wrapped around her, her head on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. No kiss, no passion, just comfort, connection, the reassurance of another person's warmth in the darkness. "Tell me something," Sofia whispers. "Something real. Something you've never told anyone." Dante is quiet for a long moment. Then, "I was engaged to Vanessa for 2 years, and I never once felt for her what I feel for you after 3 months. That's what terrifies me most. That I wasted so much time being numb, accepting a life without real feeling, that I almost lost my chance at this. At you." Sofia's arms tighten around him. "You didn't lose your chance. I'm right here. Promise me you'll stay here. No matter what they say tomorrow, no matter what the investigation reveals, no matter what Dominic Sterling tries. Promise me you won't disappear." "I promise." They fall asleep like that, wrapped around each other, taking comfort in proximity and shared warmth while they can. Because tomorrow, the storm hits. The police arrive at 9 a.m. sharp. 2 detectives, a hard-faced woman named Morrison and her younger male partner, Chen. They're professional, thorough, and clearly suspicious of the coincidence that is Vanessa Sterling's death. Dante's lawyer, Marcus Castellano, is present. So is Sofia's court-appointed attorney, a sharp woman named Rebecca Park, who Torres personally recommended. They question Dante first, in his office. Sofia waits in the kitchen with Torres and Rebecca, her hands wrapped around a cup of coffee she can't drink, her stomach in knots. 2 hours later, it's her turn.
"Miss Moretti,"
Detective Morrison begins, settling into a chair across from her in the formal living room.
"How well did you know Vanessa Sterling?"
"Not well. She was Mr. Russo's fiancée. I was the family chef. We interacted when necessary, but we weren't close."
"But you had conflict with her, correct? She accused you of poisoning Isabella Russo."
Sofia's attorney starts to speak, but Sofia shakes her head.
"Yes, she accused me of deliberately contaminating Isabella's food. But I was innocent. Mr. Russo has video footage showing that Vanessa herself switched the ingredients to frame me."
Morrison's eyebrow raises.
"Convenient that Mr. Russo has footage exonerating you."
"It's not convenient. It's thorough security." Sofia keeps her voice steady.
"Mr. Russo has cameras throughout his property. They captured what actually happened."
"We'll need to see that footage," Chen interjects.
"It's already been provided to you," Rebecca Park says smoothly, "along with all relevant documentation regarding the incident."
Morrison makes a note.
"Ms. Moretti, where were you 3 nights ago between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.?
Sofia's blood runs cold. That must be when Vanessa died.
"I was here, in the guest house, sleeping." "Can anyone confirm that?" "Torres does security sweeps every few hours. She would have noticed if I left the property."
"But within the property, you could have moved freely?"
"Detective," Rebecca interrupts. "Are you seriously suggesting my client drove to Vanessa Sterling's home in the middle of the night and somehow forced pills and alcohol down her throat? On what evidence?" "On the evidence that your client had motive. Vanessa Sterling publicly humiliated her, nearly destroyed her career, used her as a pawn in a scheme that endangered a child."
Morrison leans forward.
"That's a lot of anger, Ms. Moretti. A lot of reason to want revenge." "I didn't want revenge."
Sofia's voice is clear, firm.
"I wanted justice, and I got it when Mr. Russo discovered the truth. Vanessa lost everything she cared about. Her engagement, her reputation, her standing with Mr. Russo's family. I had no reason to hurt her. She'd already hurt herself." "Or maybe you wanted to make sure she couldn't retaliate," Chen suggests.
"Maybe you were afraid she'd come after you again."
"That's pure speculation,"
Rebecca interjects sharply. The questioning continues for another hour. They go over every detail of Sofia's relationship with Vanessa, with Dante, with Isabella. They ask about her finances, struggling, her background, poor but clean, her whereabouts on multiple dates. Finally, they leave, but Morrison's parting words chill Sofia to the bone. "Don't leave Chicago, Ms. Moretti. We'll likely have more questions." After they're gone, Sofia finds Dante in his office, his face ashen. "They think we did it," she says, "because there's no point pretending otherwise. They think we killed her.
They're fishing. They have no evidence because there is no evidence. We didn't do this."
Dante pulls her into his arms, and Sofia melts against him, needing his strength.
"Dominic Sterling is orchestrating this.
He's putting pressure on the police, feeding them theories, trying to build a narrative. But the truth will come out.
What if it doesn't? Sofia's voice is muffled against his chest.
What if they decide we're easier targets than finding out what actually happened? What if... Then we fight harder.
Dante tilts her face up. Sofia, I have resources. Lawyers, investigators, connections. I'm already having my people look into Vanessa's death. If it wasn't suicide, if Dominic did something to his own daughter to frame us, we'll find proof.
And if he did? Sofia whispers.
If he killed his own daughter just to destroy...
You? Dante's expression darkens with a rage she's only glimpsed before.
Then he'll learn what happens when someone threatens my family.
The word hangs between them. Family. Before Sofia can respond, Isabella appears in the doorway. Papa? Miss Sofia? Why are there police cars outside? Dante and Sofia break apart, but not quickly enough. Isabella's eyes are wide, frightened.
Come here, Principessa.
Dante opens his arms, and Isabella runs into them. He lifts her, holds her close. The police were just asking some questions about Miss Vanessa. You remember she used to be Papa's friend? Until she was mean to Miss Sofia, Isabella says with a child's brutal honesty. Yes, well, something sad happened to Miss Vanessa, and the police are trying to understand what, but it has nothing to do with us. We're safe. You're safe. Okay? Isabella nods against his shoulder, but Sofia can see she's not entirely convinced. That night, Isabella refuses to sleep in her own room. She wants to stay with Sofia, wants the comfort of someone she trusts. Sofia carries her to the guest house, tucks her into the big bed, and lies beside her, stroking her hair until she falls asleep. When Sofia tries to slip away, Isabella's hand catches hers. Don't leave, she mumbles, half asleep. Stay. So Sofia stays, watching this child breathe, and makes a silent vow. Whatever it takes, she'll protect Isabella from this ugliness. She'll shield her from the investigation, from the media attention that's surely coming, from the knowledge that adults in her life are capable of terrible things. She's so focused on Isabella that she doesn't hear Dante enter until he's standing beside the bed, looking down at them both with an expression that makes Sofia's heart ache.
She's had nightmares since the hospital,
he says quietly.
Won't tell me what about, but she hasn't had one since you came back.
She feels safe with me, Sofia whispers.
We both do.
Dante sits on the edge of the bed.
Sofia, I need to tell you something. My investigators found something. Vanessa didn't commit suicide. She was murdered. The scene was staged.
Sofia's breath catches. How do you know?
Because the pills they found in her system, she was allergic to them. Dominic Sterling's medical records show he keeps them in his house for his own heart condition. And Vanessa's housekeeper, the one who found her, just deposited $50,000 into her account.
Dante's voice is cold.
Dominic killed his own daughter, made it look like suicide, framed us, all to destroy me for humiliating his family.
That's... Sofia can't even find words.
That's monstrous. That's my world.
Dante's expression is bleak.
This is what I didn't want you to see, what I tried to protect you from. In my world, people are expendable, even family, even daughters. Dominic Sterling was willing to sacrifice Vanessa to maintain his reputation, to punish me, to prove his power.
We have to tell the police.
We will, but
carefully, with evidence they can't ignore or dismiss. My people are building the case now, financial records, witness statements, forensic analysis. When we present it, it has to be airtight. Otherwise, Dominic will just bury it, and we'll look desperate. Sofia looks down at Isabella, sleeping peacefully, unaware that the world around her is so dark.
I don't want her to grow up in this world. Neither do I.
Dante's hand covers Sofia's.
That's why I'm getting out. I've been transitioning my businesses to legitimate operations for years, but it's slow work. After this, after we take down Dominic, I'm accelerating everything. I want Isabella to have a normal life.
He stops, meets Sofia's eyes.
I want us to have a chance at something real, something good, not built on violence and fear.
Dante,
I know it's too soon. I know I'm asking for too much. But Sofia, when this is over, when the investigation is closed and Dominic is either in prison or destroyed,
I want to try. Really try. Not as employer and employee, not as protected and protector, but as... He struggles for the right words. as a man and a woman who might be able to build something beautiful together. Sofia's eyes fill with tears. You're asking me to wait? To stay through this nightmare and hope there's something good on the other side? Yes. I know it's unfair. I know you deserve someone whose life isn't this complicated, this dangerous. But I'm asking anyway because I'm selfish, and I can't imagine my future without you in it. Sofia looks at him. This powerful, dangerous man who's trying so hard to be better, to give his daughter a safer world, to build something real with a chef from nowhere who shouldn't matter but somehow does. Okay, she whispers. Okay? I'll stay. I'll wait. I'll fight through this with you. She squeezes his hand. Because I can't imagine my future without you either. Without either of you. Dante leans forward, and for a moment Sofia thinks he's going to kiss her. But he stops, presses his forehead to hers instead, and just breathes with her. Thank you, he whispers. Thank you for being brave enough to choose us. The next 3 weeks are brutal. The media picks up the story. Headlines scream about the Mafia boss, his dead fiancé, and the mysterious chef caught in the middle. Paparazzi camp outside the estate gates. Sofia can't go anywhere without cameras in her face, but Dante's team works tirelessly. They gather evidence, build the case against Dominic Sterling. They document everything, the financial payments, the staged scene, the impossible timeline, the medical records proving Vanessa's allergy. Finally, the police can't ignore it anymore. They bring Dominic Sterling in for questioning. Within 48 hours, his carefully constructed story falls apart. The housekeeper confesses. The financial records speak for themselves. Dominic Sterling is arrested for the murder of his own daughter. The media circus shifts, targets. Now the headlines are about the grieving father who became a killer, about how power and pride can corrupt, absolutely, about the downfall of the Sterling empire. Dante and Sofia are cleared of any suspicion. It should feel like victory. Instead, it feels like exhaustion. 2 months later, on a cold December evening, Sofia stands in the kitchen making hot chocolate for Isabella. Outside, snow falls softly over the Chicago landscape, transforming the estate into something from a fairy tale. Dante finds her there, as he often does now. The investigation is over. Dominic Sterling awaits trial. The media has moved on to other scandals. Life is slowly returning to something resembling normal. Except nothing about Sofia's life is normal anymore. She lives in the guest house but eats every meal with Dante and Isabella. She cooks professionally, but also personally, pouring love into every dish. She's technically staff, but is treated like family by Isabella, by Torres, by Dante himself. They exist in this strange limbo, neither employer, employee, nor something more, waiting for the right moment to define what they are. Isabella is asleep, Dante says, leaning against the counter. She wants you to read to her tomorrow night. Some book about a girl who becomes a chef. Sofia smiles. She's still set on culinary school? Completely. Says she wants to be just like Miss Sofia when she grows up. Dante's expression softens. She's not the only one. Sofia sets down the pot she's washing. Dante! Come with me. I want to show you something. He takes her hand, leads her through the house to the library. There, spread across his desk, are architectural plans. What is this? Sofia asks. A restaurant. I'm opening a restaurant downtown. High-end Italian. The kind of place my mother dreamed about when she was working 3 jobs to keep us fed. He looks at Sofia. I want you to be the head chef. Not my private chef. A real chef, with a real kitchen, making the kind of food that gets Michelin stars. Building the kind of reputation you deserve. Sofia stares at the plans, at the beautiful kitchen layouts, at the dining room designs. Dante, I can't accept this. It's too much. It's not a gift. It's a job offer. A partnership, actually. You'll have equity, creative control. Your name on the door if you want it. He moves closer. Sofia, I'm not trying to buy you or trap you. I'm trying to give you what you deserve, a chance to build something of your own. To be seen not as my chef or Isabella's caretaker, but as Sofia Moretti, brilliant chef in her own right. Why? Sofia's voice breaks. Why do all this for me? Because I love you. The words are simple, direct, devastating. I've loved you since you stood in my dining room refusing to break under false accusations. I've loved you through every meal you've made, every moment you've been patient with my daughter, every time you've made me laugh when I forgot how. I love you, Sofia.
And I want to build a life with you. A real life. Not employer and employee. Not protection arrangement, but partners, equals, family.
Sofia's tears spill over.
I love you too. God help me. I love you so much it terrifies me. Then be terrified with me.
Dante cups her face, thumbs brushing away tears.
Let's build something beautiful together. The restaurant.
A life, a future for Isabella where she grows up seeing that love is real, that people can change, that families can be built on choice and not just blood. Yes, Sofia whispers. Yes to all of it. Dante kisses her then, finally, after months of restraint. It's gentle and fierce, tender and desperate, tasting of patience rewarded and promises made. When they break apart, both breathing hard, Sofia sees her future reflected in his dark eyes. Not perfect, not easy, but real, honest, built on truth and trust and love that survived investigation, suspicion, and the darkness of Dante's world.
There's one more thing,
Dante says, reaching into his pocket. He pulls out a small velvet box. Sofia's breath stops.
I'm not proposing. Not yet.
Dante opens the box to reveal a delicate gold necklace with a small diamond pendant.
But I want you to have this. It was my mother's. She wore it every day, said it reminded her that even small lights can shine in darkness.
He fastens it around Sofia's neck.
You're that light for me, Sofia. For me and Isabella both. And someday, when you're ready, I'll ask you properly. But for now, I just want you to know that you're family, you're home, you're everything.
Sofia touches the necklace, feels the weight of his mother's memory, his trust, his love. I'm ready now, she says softly. Dante stills.
What? I'm ready. Ask me.
Sofia, we don't have to rush. We're not rushing. We're choosing each other. After everything we've been through, after every test and trial, I know what I want. I want you. I want Isabella. I want this complicated, imperfect, beautiful life we're building together. She takes his hands. So ask me, Dante Russo. Ask me properly. Dante's smile is beautiful, tremulous, hopeful. He gets down on one knee right there in his library, holding both her hands, looking up at her with everything he feels written plainly on his face.
Sofia Moretti, brilliant chef, brave woman, the love of my life. Will you marry me? Will you be Isabella's mother, my partner, my wife? Will you help me build something good in this dark world? Will you choose this life? Choose us. Choose love.
Yes, Sofia says through happy tears. Yes, yes, yes. He stands, kisses her again, and this time there's joy in it. Certainty, the confidence of two people who've survived the worst and chosen each other anyway. From the doorway, a small voice squeals in delight.
Miss Sofia is going to be my mama?
They break apart to find Isabella standing there in her pajamas, eyes wide with wonder and hope.
If that's okay with you, Principessa,
Dante says, extending a hand to his daughter. Isabella runs to them, throws her arms around both their legs. It's perfect! It's the most perfect thing ever! Can we tell everyone at school? Can Miss Sofia teach me to make wedding cake? Can I be a flower girl? Can we— Yes, Sofia laughs, scooping Isabella up. Yes to everything. They stand there in the library, the three of them wrapped in a hug, and Sofia thinks about how far she's come. From the girl scrubbing floors to survive, to the woman falsely accused and nearly destroyed, to this. A family built on choice and love and the courage to see each other clearly. Outside, snow continues to fall over Chicago, covering everything in clean white, promising new beginnings and fresh starts. And inside the Russo mansion, three people who almost lost everything hold each other close and build a future from the ashes of the past. Epilogue. 1 year later. Moretti's opens to rave reviews. Critics call it the best new Italian restaurant in Chicago. Reservations are booked months in advance. Sofia is profiled in culinary magazines, her journey from poverty to prominence inspiring young chefs across the country. But the best part isn't the Michelin star they earn in the first year, or the celebrity chef who calls Sofia a genius, or the wedding venue requests they have to turn down because they're too busy. The best part is Isabella, Now 9, sitting at the chef's counter after school, doing homework while Sofia preps for dinner service. The best part is Dante stopping by every evening, ostensibly to review financial reports, but really just to steal kisses in the walk-in cooler and watch his wife command her kitchen with the same fierce competence she brings to everything. The best part is the small apartment they maintain above the restaurant, a space that's theirs alone, separate from the mansion and the past and everything that came before. The best part is coming home together as a family, tired and flower-dusted and happy, to a life they built from scratch. On their first anniversary, Sofia and Dante have a quiet ceremony in the restaurant after hours. Just Isabella, Torres, their closest friends. Nothing fancy, nothing pretentious, just love, witnessed and celebrated. And when Dante pulls Sofia into his arms for their first dance as husband and wife, when Isabella joins them and they sway together to soft music in their empty restaurant, Sofia thinks about the girl who was accused of poisoning a child, who nearly lost everything to a vindictive woman's jealousy. That girl is gone. In her place stands a chef, a wife, a mother, a woman who learned that being seen, being loved, being chosen is worth any risk, any trial, any darkness you have to walk through to reach the light. Happy? Dante murmurs against her hair. Completely, Sofia answers, and means it with every fiber of her being. Outside, Chicago glitters with evening lights. Inside Moretti's, a family dances in their own private world, building something beautiful from everything they almost lost. And somewhere, Sofia's mother would be proud. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you loved this story, check out the other videos on your screen now. I think you'll really enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next story.